You think you're in love, but what if you're not? What if what you're feeling right now is not love at all? What if it's something your brain was engineered to feel by someone who studied exactly how to make you feel it? Because here's the truth, nobody tells you about toxic relationships. You didn't fall in love, you fell into a trap, and the trap was built specifically for you. There are 10 strategies, 10 psychological weapons, used deliberately or unconsciously by people who need to control you to feel okay about themselves. And the terrifying part is this, they work. They work on smart people, they work on strong people, they work on people exactly like you. So let's talk about each one, because understanding the weapon is the only way to disarm it. Number 1, love bombing. It starts with everything you ever wanted, attention you've never had before, messages at 3 in the morning just to tell you they were thinking of you, flowers, plans, future talk. You are the most incredible person they have ever met. You feel seen, you feel chosen, you feel like finally someone understands you. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain is flooded with dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin simultaneously. That combination is more chemically powerful than cocaine. You're not falling in love, you're becoming addicted, and they know it, because the love bombing is not spontaneous, it's a strategy. It's designed to create dependency before the real dynamic begins. Because once they have you hooked, it stops, and you spend the rest of the relationship trying to get back to that feeling that was never real. Number 2, intermittent reinforcement. This is the most powerful psychological trap ever discovered. It's the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. The unpredictability is the addiction. In a toxic relationship, it looks like this. Some days they are the person you fell in love with, warm, present, loving, and you think, this is the real them. I just need to be better, and this version will stay. Other days they are cold, distant, cruel, unpredictable. And you twist yourself trying to figure out what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. The inconsistency is intentional. Whether they know it or not, they have created a system where your nervous system is in permanent hypervigilance, waiting, hoping, analyzing every word for a signal. This is not love, this is trauma. Number 3, gaslighting. You said something happened, they tell you it didn't. You felt something, they tell you you're overreacting. You have a memory, they tell you your memory is wrong. You trust your instincts, they tell you your instincts are broken. Gaslighting is the systematic destruction of your reality, and it works because it happens slowly. So slowly that by the time you realize your perception of reality has been altered, you can't even trust yourself to recognize it. Here's the neuroscience. When someone you love and trust consistently contradicts your experience, your brain begins to doubt itself. The prefrontal cortex, your rational mind, starts deferring to their version of events, because accepting that the person you love is lying to you is more painful than accepting that you might be wrong. So you choose to doubt yourself every time until you don't know who you are anymore. Number 4, blameshifting. You confront them about something real, something that hurt you, something that was objectively wrong, and somehow, by the end of the conversation, you are apologizing. This is blameshifting, the complete inversion of responsibility. They did something, you end up owning it. They said something cruel, you end up examining why you made them say it. They broke something between you, you end up being the one who has to fix it. And the psychological damage is profound, because over time you begin to believe it. You begin to believe that you are the problem, that if you could just be better, smarter, calmer, less sensitive, the relationship would work. The relationship would never work, because the relationship is designed to need a villain, and they chose you for the role. Number 5, triangulation. They bring in a third party, an ex who is still in the picture, a friend who understands them better than you do, someone at work who appreciates them in ways you don't. The message is always the same. You are replaceable. Someone else could easily be in your position, and that someone else would be grateful. Triangulation is a control strategy disguised as jealousy. It works because it activates your attachment system at the deepest level. The fear of abandonment, the fear of not being enough. Suddenly, you are competing for someone who should already be choosing you without a competition. And you compete, you try harder, you become smaller, you give more, and they get exactly what they wanted, more control. Number 6, idealize and devalue. First, they put you on a pedestal. You are perfect. You are everything. Then they knock you off it. You are too sensitive, too needy, too much, not enough. The cycle repeats. Up, down, adored, despised. This is not mood swings. This is a strategy. Because when you are devalued after being idealized, the contrast creates devastation. You know what it felt like to be their everything, and now you are nothing. And the only thing you want, the only thing your brain can focus on, is getting back to that pedestal. So you work for it, you perform for it, you lose yourself trying to be the version of you that they loved at the beginning. That version was never real. It was a projection they placed on you until you were hooked enough to survive the devaluation. Number 7, isolation. Slowly, subtly, your world gets smaller. They don't like your friends. They have a problem with your family. They need more of your time. They feel insecure when you have a life outside them. And because you love them, you accommodate, you cancel plans, you see people less, you stop talking about your relationship to the people who would tell you the truth. And then one day you look around and the only person left is them, which is exactly what they needed, because isolated people have no reference point, no one to confirm that what they are experiencing is not normal, no one to give them an exit. You become entirely dependent on the person who is hurting you for your emotional survival. Number 8, stonewalling. You need to talk. You need to process something real and painful between you. And they shut down. They go silent. They leave the room. They look through you like you don't exist. They refuse to engage. This is not someone who needs space. This is punishment. Stonewalling is the weaponization of silence. It communicates something devastating without a single word. Your pain is not worth my response. You don't deserve my presence. I can remove myself from you and there is nothing you can do about it. And what do? You panic, you chase, you try harder to communicate. You become more emotional while they become more cold. And their silence becomes a wall you spend all your energy trying to break through. This is by design. Number 9, trauma bonding. This is the one that explains everything. Why you can't leave. Why you miss them the moment they walk out the door. Why the relationship feels more intense than any love you've ever experienced. Trauma bonding occurs when cycles of abuse are followed by cycles of reconciliation. The relief after tension is so neurologically intense that it creates a bond stronger than normal love. Your brain associates this person with both the wound and the cure, the threat and the safety, the pain and the relief. This is not love. This is a physiological response to cycles of stress and reward. Your brain has been conditioned to need the source of your pain for relief, like a burn that only feels better when you touch the flame again. And knowing this doesn't make it easier to leave, but understanding it is the first step to recognizing that what you feel is not a measure of the relationship's worth. It's a measure of how much damage it has caused. Number 10, hoovering. You finally leave, or you try to, and then they come back, changed, remorseful, the person you always believed they could be. They remember everything that mattered to you. They say every word you needed to hear during the relationship. They make promises that feel real this time. This is hoovering, named after the vacuum cleaner, because they suck you back in, and it works because you never stop loving the potential of who they could be. You loved a version of them that existed in your imagination and in the brief moments they chose to show you. And now they are showing you that version again. But here's what you need to understand. Hoovering is not change. It is the reset of the cycle. What comes after hoovering is always what came before. The love bombing that becomes the devaluation. The promises that become the pattern. The cycle doesn't end when they come back. The cycle ends when you recognize it. So here's what I want you to take from this. If you recognized yourself in any of these strategies, you are not weak, you are not broken, you are not too sensitive or too needy or too much. You are someone whose psychological vulnerabilities were deliberately or unconsciously exploited by someone who needed control more than they needed love. The strategies work on everyone. They are designed by human psychology itself. Your attachment system, your need for love, your capacity for empathy. These are not weaknesses. They are what make you human. And they were used against you. Understanding this changes everything. Because you cannot fight what you cannot name. And now you can name it. The relationship you deserve does not require you to earn love, does not require you to compete for attention, does not require you to doubt your own reality, does not require you to shrink yourself to fit someone else's need for control. The exit from a toxic relationship begins here. In this recognition, in this moment where you see the mechanism for what it is, not love, a trap. And now that you see the trap, you have something you didn't have before, a choice. Choose yourself. You always deserve to.